What is up, guys? Welcome into college football preview show here. I am Drew Martin, live in Las Vegas, Nevada. As you can see, it's almost nighttime here, right across from the Strip, and spent pretty much all day handicapping the college football Saturday cards. So bet a couple games here and thought I'd just kind of break them down here on Twitter at Drew Martin Bets, also on YouTube as well. Just search my name, Drew Martin. You'll be able to find it. And sure enough, got about 5 plays here. Yeah, 5 plays that I bet personally, and just break them down on the show for you. Looking to do this each and every Friday kind of night before Saturday games. So feel free to chime in on YouTube or on Twitter if you got any questions, and I'll hit them at the end. But first game up here, guys, 12 noon Eastern on ABC. Getting off here with the kickoff, Navy versus Tulane. We got Tulane -7, 48.5 the total in the Big Easy. Couple reasons why I like this and share what I'm betting here. One, I would look for Navy to kind of be the team with the most improvement from week 1 to week 2, or in terms of their first game to their second game. Their head coach, Tiamlatotoa, I'm not sure how to pronounce it. His first name is Ken, though. I've watched him coach a bunch. And, he admitted to the mistakes he made in not hitting before their game against BYU. And I would look, and they've also started hitting in practice after that. So I would look for the Navy defense to be very much improved. They also have an extra week to prepare, and they've been a great road underdog. Usually I like to be on Willie Fritz, Tulane. I think that they've recruited well. But Navy's a good road underdog, and look for a ton of improvements. So that's what's keeping me off the Tulane side. And also Willie Fritz and his system. I mean, he's moved over the years a little bit more towards the kind of wide open spread. It's still a running based system, but still, the quarterback transfers from Southern Miss, I don't feel like he's a great fit in this system. I don't think their offense is really going to be humming that much against Navy. Definitely not to the point like BYU's was. It's kind of like the same-ish system in terms of option principles. Tulane's not running the triple option, but there's a lot of option principles there. So I think that actually helps both defenses seeing somewhat of the same philosophies in practice. So we got a total of 48.5 here. We know Navy's going to sit on it in terms of not run up tempo. We haven't seen Tulane run much up tempo at all in the last couple years. So with rain and wind in the forecast here in the Big Easy, remember Tulane doesn't play in the Superdome. They have their own stadium. It's open air, and rain and wind in the forecast. We're seeing 15 miles an hour wind forecasted in New Orleans with 60% rain. I'm on the under of 48.5 in the noon kickoff between the Navy-Tulane game. That's the first bet on the board for me. Anthony, welcome in, man. Coy, what's up, buddy? Music City Bets as well. Answer some questions at the end here. We got 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 Pacific kick. The next bet up here, Troy versus MTSU. MTSU, of course, from Conference USA. Troy in the Sun Belt. We got MTSU catching 3 or 2.5, depending where you're shopping right now. 64.5 being the total. Troy, this is their first game, and their quarterback, first team all Sun Belt quarterback, actually a really good quarterback, Barker. I think his name was Caleb Barker. He's gone now. He was first team all Sun Belt quarterback, and their head coach, Chip Lindsey, I'm not a really big fan of. He was an offensive coordinator at Auburn for quite some time. Watched him coach for multiple years here. Just think he kind of underachieves. And they also have big defensive line questions as well there, Troy does. And MTSU, of course, they got hammered by Army in their first game. However, there's extra preparation. That wasn't last week. That was 2 weeks ago. And, if I had to pick the next team to kind of have the most improvement outside of Navy, I would actually look for MTSU. They're a well-coached team under Rick Stockstill. They lost to Army. It was kind of a tough matchup for them, though. They didn't have – it was kind of scheduled late, and could kind of see that one kind of unwinding on them, and sure enough, it did. I think Asher O'Hare at quarterback. The backup got some time as well. I think they perform a lot better against a questionable Troy defense. They lost a lot off the defensive line, and you can still catch +3 out there with MTSU. I think MTSU rebounds here. They're back home in Murfreesboro. So +3 with MTSU. That's Middle Tennessee, rotation number 136 is bet number 2 for me. So that's 2 bets in the rear view mirror here. Got 3 more want to share with you. Again, at Drew Martin Bets on Twitter. Looking to do this once a week for the college football slate. Break down kind of the bets that I'm looking to place personally, or have placed personally. We got 2 more at the 3:30 slate here, guys. So going to be sweating out a bunch of games. 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 Pacific. If you're tailing me, feel free to fade away as well. I don't mind. I think over the long term, though, you might lose your money. We got UCF -7 at Georgia Tech, 62.5 being the total. Last week, recap from last week, guys, went 1-1 straight up, meaning on the 2 bets that I gave out. And the winner was Georgia Tech, lost on Syracuse in the 4th quarter. Also, by the way, hit the juicer on Georgia Tech money line as well. So that was nice at +375. But overall, got to go with the record 1-1 there. And the winner was Georgia Tech. And actually looking to go on the other side here. I just think the spot for Jeff Collins' group is awful this week. They do come home to Bobby Dodd Stadium here, and they did outgain Florida State 438 to 288. Actually, absolutely smashing Florida State there in the outright victory as double-digit dogs on the road, but coming back home, they haven't been good out of conference. Plus the fact, and shout out to the gold sheet on this, love this stat, Georgia Tech head coach Jeff Collins comes from Temple, and he was 0-2 straight up and ATS versus UCF. So UCF has kind of had his number as a head coach, and spot-wise off of you can make the argument the best victory Georgia Tech's had for their program in heck since what, like 2009, I think they won in the Orange Bowl, something of that nature. It's been a long time since this program's had a big win. So looking to actually fade them off of that. And this is UCF's first game, not necessarily a bet on situation, but UCF has been a money maker for multiple years now. One of, if not the most profitable team in college football. And since the change at the head coaching position from Scott Frost to Josh Heupel, they really haven't missed that much of a beat. I would, venture to say Scott Frost is up there in Nebraska, and Lincoln, Nebraska, wondering if he should have even left Orlando. But I would look for, Dylan Gabriel at the quarterback position, returning 15 starters back overall. I think they have more athletes than Georgia Tech. Obviously, recruiting there for UCF has been great. I would look for them to cover this -7 number. And you got to also kind of keep in mind here, guys, UCF, and I'm not saying they will. I'm not even saying the percentages are with them. But they're thinking with the Big Ten, Pac-12, whatever's going on there, they might have a chance at the playoffs here, and they're going to look to kind of go pedal to the metal here if they have the chance against Georgia Tech. So I am personally laying the -7. You can find 7.5 or 7 out there in the market. I laid it UCF -7 over Georgia Tech. So those are 3 bets so far. Got 2 more here, guys. One at the next one up at 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 Pacific here on CBS. App State versus Marshall. This one, 59.5 being the total. App State -5. So you can bet either Marshall +5.5 or lay it with App State -5. Not sure if you guys have heard, likely you have, it's kind of out there everywhere. The team with more spring practices has done very well out the gate here this season than teams that didn't have a lot of spring practices. So that is kind of at the forefront here with App State, 11 spring practices, where Marshall had 0 spring practices. Now, Marshall did have an FCS game against Eastern Kentucky. I don't think Eastern Kentucky projects to be very good this year, and they won 59-0. Not sure how much that tells us about Marshall, but I will say this. Watching Marshall in my notes from last year in terms of just kind of breaking down what I saw watching all the games each and every Saturday, their quarterback isn't very good for the Thundering Herd. Kind of looking to fade him. In App State on the other side, they won 35-20 over Charlotte last week. They did not get the cover, but their yardage edge was 500-286. So they absolutely dominated them in terms of, offensive, defensive yardage edge. And I don't think the score was really indicative there. It's kind of a wet day in Charlotte. So App State going on the road. They've been a good road team overall. I would look to lay the 5 there with App State. I did personally, so App State -5 is also a bet for me, and got one more here at 6 p.m. Then hit the chat box. So feel free to throw out any games you want me to go over before we wrap this up. Anything you're looking to bet as well with the reason why. But last game up here, guys, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific, SMU versus North Texas. We got the Mean Green catching 14 in Denton, Texas, 69 being the total. SMU, 540 yards in week 1. I believe they also got 24 first downs. That's a pretty impressive number there. Sonny Dykes, Shane Buechele, a nice quarterback head coach combination there. If you're looking to kind of put up offensive production in the group of 5. Both teams are off of a bye here. And when we got Sonny Dykes and Seth Luttrell running both programs, I would look for the offense to kind of have new wrinkles and kind of, obviously both of them running up tempo. We got North Texas, 720 yards in their week 1 matchup against Houston Baptist, 720 yards. So they're going to look to go offensively. And Jason Bean, their quarterback, got to look at him. Man, he is an athlete. He can really move. 10-3, 100-meter guy in terms of a track guy playing quarterback. So, they're going to be running it and looking to throw it. Seth Luttrell running that offense going up tempo. Sonny Dykes as well. Looks to be 83 degrees, sunny, low winds here. So both teams off a bye in week 1, offensive production there. I'm going over 69 in SMU versus North Texas. And I'm not, right out the gate here, guys, I'm actually looking to be betting more unders. We've seen more unders cash already, but this one, if you're betting the under in North Texas SMU, that's going to be a tough one to watch because they're really going to go up tempo. And I personally bet the SMU North Texas over 69. So in recap of the bets here, guys, gotta pull it up here. Yeah, Navy Tulane under 48.5, MTSU +3, App State -5, UCF -7, and North Texas versus SMU over 69. Those are the 5 plays that I'm betting personally, guys. And heck, if you're tailing, best of luck. If you're fading, hope you lose. Hit the chat box real quick here, guys. Again, looking to do this each and every Friday before the Saturday college football card. Anthony, welcome in, man. UCF -7, bought the hook, is easy money. Yeah, man, I'm on UCF as well. And actually at some shops, you don't even need to buy the hook. You can get them 7 right now. You max bet it twice. Let's go UCF. That hat fresh from Music City Bets. I appreciate it, man. I'm keeping the sticker on as well. I don't know. Some people say that's a no-no. But, yeah, last week I signed up for the Circa Million contest. Also, tweet out my picks each week in the Circa Million contest at Drew Martin Bets. And huge shout-out, guys. If you're ever looking to get into a contest here in town, Circa, Westgate, Kelly in Vegas proxy service, Kelly and Brett, they run a great show there. So if you ever need a proxy, you live outside of Nevada and need a proxy, they're a good one for you to get. I definitely recommend it. Coy, I know you've looked at Troy. What's your opinion on laying the points? Yeah, Coy, I'm actually already involved in that. I'm with MTSU +3. Shop around there for the 2.5, 3, depending on which side you want to bet. But I'm on MTSU +3. Troy hasn't played a game. I think there's question marks at the quarterback position. Losing Barker there, I don't know who they're replacing him with. Obviously, you can come up with a name, but I don't think they're going to be nearly as good as the former first-team All-Sun Belt. So I like MTSU, man. But if you're going with Troy, I don't know. I'd watch out. Pump the brakes on that. Senor Pipes, Texas State and Louisiana Tech over. Thank me later. All right, that's Senor Pipes chiming in. He likes the over in those 2 games. Jay, welcome in, man. How you doing? Anthony's Lakers +7. All right, Music City, you're tailing? Good, man. Let's cash this, buddy. We got Dylan Gabriel throwing 4 TDs. I hope so, man. That would be great. Did I talk about Georgia Tech? Yes, I did, Zach Harvey. And I'm actually on UCF, so – and again, guys, that's at the beginning of the tape if you're just coming in here. So UL-Miami, you want to hear about that one? I almost got there just because I feel like I got to bet it in prime time, the degenerate in me. And I likely will personally bet it, but I just couldn't. I think there's too many question marks on both sides. Talking about the Louisville-Miami game, I broke this one down. Look, Miami Hurricanes, they're 3-23 their last 26 games versus top 25 opponents when on the road. That stat tells you how far Miami has fallen since the glory days back when Ken Dorsey was taking snaps there. 3-23 last 26 road games against top 25 opponents. They do have extra prep time here, with that UAB game being on Thursday night. And Louisville beat Western Kentucky convincingly with Pigram at quarterback for Western Kentucky. He's a transfer that used to be at Maryland, runs around, heck of an athlete. And actually, I think profile-wise, that helps him against Miami because Rhett Lashley and De'Aaron King, it's a similar type profile of offense. So they just saw it and played well against them. That's something that makes me look towards Louisville. However, Miami beat them 52-27 last year. But I would take that with a grain of salt because turnovers were 3-0 in favor of Miami. And plus the yardage, actually, Louisville outgained them, 497 yards to Miami, 449 yards. So I think that score is a little bit misleading from last year. Look, I lean Louisville -2.5, but I didn't get there as of yet. Not going on record with that one. But good question there, Ryan. I think that's going to be a fun one to watch. Coy, you bet Syracuse +21.5 and Troy -3 a couple days ago. Well, I'm on the other side of your Troy bet. Syracuse, I lost on them last week. I'm not going back to the well again. 4-2, what is up, man? And Sean Crate 68. Oklahoma State versus Tulsa. Look, I want to be betting the over in that one. But again, man, right out the gate, I'm actually looking to be betting more unders than overs. I lean Oklahoma State, but Tulsa's been a great underdog. And, that's a situation where it's a little bit of the, big brother, little brother feel where I could see Tulsa really being motivated in that one, Ryan. So, or Sean, excuse me. I want to be on the over, but unders out the gate, I'm not so sure. I actually wouldn't be surprised if Tulsa stayed within the number, but I didn't bet it personally. So, Ryan, yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate you chiming in here, guys. And, if you could smash the like button or the heart button on Twitter, that would help, and retweet. That'd be great as well. So, guys, thanks for joining in. Recap on the bets here. Navy Tulane under 48.5. Middle Tennessee State +3. App State -5, UCF -7, and North Texas SMU over 69. So, guys, if you're tailing out there, best of luck. Be safe this weekend, guys, and talk next week. All right, best of luck, guys.